This new moon lunar cycle is under the nakshatra of Shatabihishak. The energy is a bit chaotic, and the process is something that requires a bit of explanation. So in these videos, what I do is tell you about what the circumstances you are going to be dealing with, also what the energy will feel like, so internally what kind of struggle you'll be going through when you face these circumstances, and then how to best work with this energy. So to begin, the symbols of Shatabihishak are a circle and a 1,000-petaled flower. The circle is about limitations and working within those limitations. The 1,000-petal flower is all of the blossoming possibilities, yet you're working within limitations. The sutra that's attached, the 100 cures of Indra, the conqueror, are all expanse from above and all earth from below. So what this means is Shatabihishak energy allows you to see all the expanse of the heavens. So tap into all of the divine knowledge that's available, that's from above, and from below, you will understand then what your physical presence in the world is meant to do. So you see everything and you also understand your place. And that's the drive of the energy. Now, the bit about conquering. The way that you are able to conquer and the way that you are able to see all of the heavens and then understand your place is by understanding things clearly and without distortion. And that's important because if you are under distortion, if you are under illusion, this is ruled by Rahu, so Rahu is the illusion of the world. And as long as you are caught up in the illusion of the world, you don't see through the fog, you don't see things clearly. And this will cause you to make errors in judgment. This will cause you to feel like you have a certain kind of relationship with a person or a group or a situation that you do not actually have. So when you are setting about to do your work in the world in the best way possible, that will serve the most people possible, having a clear understanding and a right relationship with truth is critical. And so Shatabihishak will take you through what are sometimes very perplexing situations in order to go through this process so that you understand. The way that we learn is by going through the process. A month ago, the new moon was in Shravana, which is all about receptivity, which is all about being in touch and being in interdimensional communication and really understanding the different languages of the divine and how you're spoken to. Then the full moon was in Magha. And Magha Nakshatra is about tamasic energy, so the soul being down on earth and weighed down in the material plane. Shatabihishak, now the lunar cycle that we are in, is a combination of these. So it's the ability to see everything, but at the same time, you are immersed in the material plane. And the nakshatra itself is associated with beings which have achieved their divine understanding, yet have chosen to be in the material plane to guide others and to guide creation. So people with this energy in their natal chart, or if you have planets in here, you may have the sense that you are here to do some work. And it's not necessarily always a pleasant experience, because if you have all of the knowledge from above, if you have the ability to see so much, it becomes painful to do your work. It becomes difficult to do your work because you understand what it is to be spiritually liberated, or at least have a taste of that. But your actual work in the world, if you are going to guide creation through the evolutionary process, requires you to be in the creation. So that means in the illusion, in these relationships, in these attachments. And that's really the struggle with the energy. The feeling of the energy itself is quite chaotic because it is many things all at once, and it's many different things all at once. So it's a feminine energy, which is receptive, and you're waiting for something, not to wait, but you understand that things flow to you. At the same time, it's very active. So while you are waiting for things to flow to you, you also understand that you cannot do your work unless you take action. So you have that kind of attention. The race of it is called Rakshasa, so it's a demon race. So you do things in an unorthodox way. You have to sometimes shake things up to make movement. So you're always looking for different ways to make a move. And it's a Shiva Nakshatra. So a lot of times in this, things fall apart. Shiva energy is destruction energy. It's tower energy. So things need to go away. They need to fall apart before you can build something new. And you learn things also through loss in this nakshatra. So you're waiting for things to happen, but you really want to take action. Meanwhile, everything around you seems like it's falling apart. And you understand that it is a process, but you really can't see your way out. This is Shatabihishak energy. So whatever situation you are in right now, these are the conditions that you may find yourself in. So it's frustrating and it's confusing, but it's not just you. This is the energy right now. It's also an energy that is moving and unsteady. So just internally even, it's not a grounded, easy kind of energy. It's, you always feel like you should be doing something. And you feel like you want to be doing something, like you want to make a move, but there's no move to make because the circumstances are still changing around you. It's also what's called a Jiva Nakshatra. So Jiva is the animal kingdom. And with the animal kingdom, you are always looking to dominate or be submissive. So you're looking, again, this struggle about when to make a move, when to assert yourself versus when to be passive, when to just let something else lead. So you see, there are a lot of internal energies in this that fight each other. So if you're feeling this right now, it isn't just you, that's the energy. So a way to work with this energy right now is the circumstances that you are in. The point of the nakshatra is that you will go through these circumstances. And you have to go through these circumstances and you have to go through the illusion because it is a purification process. The Shakti, the power of the nakshatra, is healing and curing. So you cannot heal or cure what is not first sick, what is not first diseased. So if you ever had a cold, a sickness, and you get a fever, that's your body fighting it off. That's a lot of how this energy works too. So this unease that you feel, you're working through a process, and the process is the purification of the illusion so that you can see things clearly. But we have this resistance, and that's what's actually being fought by the energy. We have the resistance for the hard thing that you have to do. We have the resistance for the thing that you don't want to let go. The resistance for the thing that you don't want to see because you wanted it to be another way. We have the resistance for the thing that you don't want to acknowledge the reality of what it is because that means it's over. And that means you have to start again. That means the Shiva element, like it's fallen apart. This nakshatra is a difficult placement also because you have your work in the world. You have your sense of mission. So people who have these placements natally, it's like missionaries. You will go through austere circumstances. You will go through hardship, and you will do so voluntarily because you feel like you have to do it. You feel like it is your work in the world. If you don't do it, nobody else will do it. And it's not something that you can easily explain to people who don't have such a placement because it is an inner drive that you have. It is just an innate drive. And yet you fight yourself because it's hard. Every time you step into the ring, so to speak, it's hard. Every time you put yourself out there, it's hard. Somebody's ready to attack you. So somebody's ready to attack you, which means you have to be ready to take a hit. It's hard. When you speak, Somebody is always ready to cut you down. It's hard. When you take action, you have no idea if it will actually ever result in anything, but you still have to take the action. It's hard. That's what this energy is. And again, the cure to the problem is the truth. Because when you see things clearly, when you cut through the illusion, you see where to put your energy. You see where to harness your efforts. The yoni of this nakshatra is a horse, right? So when a horse gets going, the horse has quite a lot of strength. Also, people look at the horse, but the horse really isn't looking around. The horse is about its work. The horse is about what it's doing. The horse is also jittery and maybe unstable at times. So again, with the energy, the yoni is how one acts under pressure. Think of the horse. It's sometimes hard to get your direction right. That's why horses have blinders when they race. But the point is that you have to go through this process. You have to go through these conversations. You have to go through these relationships in order to understand the truth. Because what is the truth? That changes by the month, by the week, by the moment. The more you learn, the more truth is revealed. The body part of this nakshatra is the chin. So think about sayings that are associated with the chin. Take it on the chin. Keep your chin up. Again, dealing with the difficulty of this energy, but the need to press on anyway. It's upward facing energy. So you're always wanting to bring things up. The cast is called prataloma. So it's bringing things up, bringing people up. That's what you're doing. But it's hard. The place of the nakshatra is a street. So think about a street. A street is busy. You get knocked around a lot. There's a lot of things going on. And yet a street is a path that takes you somewhere. And you were on the street, you were on the path for a reason. So somebody under this energy, and where you're maybe situated right now, is that the manus associated with the nakshatra. They help develop the physical processes to enable the soul to express itself physically through form. That means you are bringing spiritual principles into the world in concrete form so that people can use them in their daily life, to purify their daily life, to purify their relationships, to build better communities, to get along better. This is what you're doing. You are assisting in the welfare of creation. And it's difficult because not all of creation wants your help. But still, you do your work. And you do your work for the purpose of that's what you are here to do. And you can't not do your work. So, for this new moon cycle, some items to pay attention to. Questions to ask yourself. What am I not seeing clearly? How would I read this situation if it wasn't me, but it was maybe a person telling me about the situation? How would I read this if I wasn't attached to it? Next, how am I allowing my senses to control me? What is it that I need to happen so badly that I may be tempted to act out of integrity, that I may be tempted to step out of purpose to make this work? Finally, what is the hard action that I need to take to free myself from this illusion, from this distortion? What action do I need to take in order to see things clearly? And finally, the resistance that we have. The resistance that we have in fighting the illusion. in actually setting ourselves free from the illusion is that, remember, it's Shiva energy. So that means Shiva is the destroyer. When you see something clearly for what it is, it means the illusion collapses. And now you see honestly, you see without distortion the people around you, the circumstances around you, the situation that you are involved in, the things that it's time to let them go. And it's hard because when they go away, now you have to find a new way to do things. When you stop holding on essentially to the dead weight, it's gone now, and you have to find the new way forward. And that's what this energy is asking you to do.